Let me ask you something. Have you ever woke up sober, clean, doing all the right things, and still felt restless, irritable, unsettled? You're not craving. You're not spiraling out of control. You're not even in crisis. But something just doesn't feel quite right. And if you ever thought, man, I'm clean and sober, why don't I feel better than this? Well, my friend, this episode is for you. Hey, I'm Paulie A, and welcome to the Lucky and Sober Life and Recovery Podcast. And if you ever thought, man, what the hell's going on? I should be feeling better than this. I want to tell you, you're not alone. Because here's the problem. A lot of people, including myself, expect sobriety to automatically create peace. But my friends, sobriety removes the chaos. It doesn't always create calm. And that is so confusing. Why? Well, because you can look good on the outside, and I've seen many people, including myself once again, but you're dying on the inside. You're begging for help. You're begging for answers. There's got to be more. So keep exploring. Don't give up. The answers will come. Because even though you're functioning and you're paying the bills and even you're doing recovery things, anxiety, serenity escapes you. Fear is there. And that can mess with your head because you start asking yourself, what's wrong with me? And that's the wrong question, my friends. There's nothing wrong with you. The right question to be asking is, what's happening with me? That's the truth. Because you're not broken. You're becoming aware. And this should be so exciting, but it doesn't feel that way, does it? You know? We're told once the drinking or using stops, life is supposed to get better. For a lot of us, though, it doesn't, right? And that's the scary part. This off feeling can start pushing us towards quick relief. Release. Relief. All those things. We want to be released. We want to feel relief. We don't want to feel this way, right? So we get stuck in mindless scrolling. We get stuck in isolation. We look out for sugar highs. Give me candy, give me sweets, give me Red Bulls. Huh? How many people are now on this platform, this program? Please share underneath here. Are you hooked on energy drinks? I know I'm hooked on caffeine. Now, that started a long, long time ago. I'm aware of it, and I try to moderate it to the best of my ability. Keep it in the morning, never late at night. But I understand. See, that's the point. I understand what I'm looking for is a dopamine hit. I understand that what I'm trying to achieve here is some kind of instant gratification. And as long as I understand what's going on, that's okay. Being aware, that's what it's all about. And understanding that I have an unsettled nervous system and it's looking for stimulation and to feel right again. A long time it took me to understand that, because after I stopped using drugs and alcohol, and after the chaos sort of settled down in my life, I became a workaholic. I became a History Channel TV-aholic. It goes way back before YouTube, right? I could watch the same history program 5 times. I know the answer. Truth is, I was hoping something would stimulate me. I was caught in this rut, and I was looking to get out of it, right? Because no longer could I find, or did I want. I mean, it was a non negotiable. Drugs and alcohol were out. Those were the last things on my radar. But yet, I still wanted to feel better. So I had to keep working and keep diving deep into self improvement. I had to start working 12 steps. Just so you know, I'm an advocate for the 12 steps. They saved my life. They are principles that, if implicated into your life, will change it. They work if you work them, right? And that's the whole point. It's term sobriety is trying to find a system that will work for you, that will give you the greatest opportunity to succeed today, right? Because we, once again, staying clean and sober one day at a time. I have to live in this brain of mine one day at a time. I have to find relief. I have to find stimulation. I have to find meaning and purpose that's going to keep me going, right? That's going to pull me through the bad times, the bad hours, this restlessness, this discontent, right? I have to have systems. Yes, I need to have goals. I also believe in goals. You got to have a compass to aim for. But if you don't have the mechanics in place, they're never going to work. And for a long time, I mean, I was a relapser, right? My first 9 years in recovery, I relapsed. I can't even tell you how many times, 4, 5, 6, at least, including going to prison because of a relapse, including being financially destroyed because of a relapse, including being kicked out of my house and told you need to find a way to sober up or you're not going to have your children. Those are the things I faced. So I totally understand. I'm sharing from experience here. I'm not sharing out of a book, right? I lived it. I've done it. I got the t-shirt. I can prove it. I got the battle scars from being a recovery warrior. So the idea here is to continue to find ways that will help you improve your daily life. And what you're doing is learning to regulate and understand and accept who you are, where you're at, and what's going on. Those are questions that you need to ask yourself on a daily basis. And that will help you, through this transformation. A lot of our lives, sometimes decades, we have spent with this nervousness stuck inside of us. And even though we're clean and sober day, the systems we may still be using are the old ones. Because why? They work for us. They helped us survive. Right? We're still here. Days, weeks, years, maybe even decades of using and abusing, and we're still alive. Decades of being in dysfunctional, codependent relations, but we're still alive, right? But now we cut that chaos out. Now we cut all that abuse and use out, and what happens? Our life is completely boring, right? Because we're also addicted to that chaos. We're addicted, our brain is, to that stimulation. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be stimulated, right? We're trying to find that excitement again, right? That we used to get from drugs and alcohol. Let's admit it, right? Even though it was killing us, even though it was destructive and we knew it, hell, it was certainly stimulating, right? There was no boring days in active use. There's not, because you're constantly in chaos, trying to survive, looking for more ways to use and abuse, to get the money, to run from the trouble that you've created. All that stuff keeps you going. So what we have to do is find a new system, that's not rigid. I'm not talking about something super rigid. I'm not talking about perfection or turning your life into a spreadsheet. No, I'm just talking about trying to find a rhythm. And the best way to find that rhythm is to start with some anchors, What are anchors? Anchors are something that grab your attention, that ground you to where you are, who you are, what's going on. And from there you can start. I think they help shape your life, and they're really important to start today. So one of the things I want to go into now is something I'm going to try to do on every episode, and that gives you some solutions, right? Because I'm not here to just talk to myself, tell my story, pat myself on the back. No, 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 no. That's not what this podcast is about. No, it's about helping you, right? It's about giving you the resources you need, the solutions to your challenges, right? And helping you navigate. I'm a peer specialist. My job is to walk with you. It's to support you. It's to give you the love, care, direction, and constructive feedback, honest, constructive feedback that's going to help you to find your way so you could be the hero in your own journey, right? The hero in your family's life. Be the hero for your kids. Isn't that what you want? Doesn't that feel so much better to be the hero and not the problem? Man, I hated being the problem. It was just eating me up. So what we're going to try to do is give you some solutions and some insight and somewhere to start, you know? And it's called the next right thing. And it's just 3 simple things to try to implement on a daily basis. And they don't have to be perfect, like I said. If you miss a day, no big deal. Start over. Start over. It's no big deal, right? You're on a journey. This is not a destination. We're never going to arrive to paradise, right? If you're looking for paradise, you're on the wrong podcast, because I can't deliver paradise. What I can deliver is solutions to your problems, right? And turn your problems into challenges, right? So I want to challenge you right now to try to enlist these 3 next right things in your day. 1, create that anchor I talked about. Maybe it's an early morning 5-minute meditation. Just sitting quietly. Maybe it's reading a book. You know, there's so many morning meditation books that you could read. I did that for years before YouTube and all these things, you know, because I have over 3 decades of abstinence and 4 decades in recovery. And so I used to listen or read the 24-hour book. Or when I was in Al-Anon, the Al-Anon Daily Reflections book. I'm looking at my shelf over there and I'm trying Hope for Today. Those were books that I would read every morning, read that daily meditation, that daily inspirational quote to keep me started. So set an anchor. Or today, you know, one of my favorite things to do today is to start out in the morning with some affirmation videos on YouTube. In fact, I might create some put a comment in there below if you would like me to create some morning meditations, because that's what I do, right? I listen to affirmations. They pump me up. They put me in place, and they make me feel like I'm ready to take on anything that day, clean and sober, right? And that's what we're trying to do. So I create that anchor. I encourage you to create that anchor. Then I encourage you to move your body, right? We got to get up. We got to move. We got to exercise. Maybe it's just simple, toe raises. I do those. You 20 to 40 of toe raises a day. That's going to strengthen your ankles and help support you, right? Because we got to physically support this body, right? So it's getting up and moving. I don't care if it's, a walk around the block, some toe raises, or if it's as simple as just get your shoes on, right? Because every journey starts with one step. And the best way to step is with a pair of shoes right now. Nice and comfortable, so you don't hurt the balls of your feet, right? You might have tender feet like me. So don't do that. Put on your shoes and then walk outside on the rocks. You have nothing to prove to anybody but yourself. You're only competing with you. You're not competing with anybody else. So take it easy. Be gentle. All right? And then maybe sometimes it's not about adding new routines. Sometimes it's about breaking and disconnecting and letting go of the old routines that aren't servicing us anymore, right? Maybe it's reducing something, reducing a simple, habit or a decision that you're forced to make every day. Maybe you should just kick back and say, you know what? I'm just for the next 30 days to keep it simple. I'm going to have the same breakfast, right? That way I know that I start my day with some certainty. I start with my anchor. I have a certain breakfast that I know I like, and it's going to fill me up and give me the energy I need for the day. So reduce a decision and make your life a little simpler. So these are 3 bullet points. So what I read, I'll be honest, I was referring to my bullet points so that I know what to share. But the truth is, those are 3 things that I do implement in my life. I have an anchor. I told you it. Right now, it's morning affirmations. 2, I get up and I move. I have a beautiful place to walk here, a natural place. Plus, I also have a couple dogs, and they have me trained well. They make me, when the weather's good, walk them twice a day. They let me know it's time to walk, okay? So having responsibilities is also a nice anchor, right? I know I'm going to get some exercise because that's what has to happen. It's non-negotiable. They need to go outside, right? And then I try to reduce decisions as I move along. If I don't need it anymore, let it go, right? And move on. In conclusions, my friends, I just want to say you don't have to have that perfect routine. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're growing. And growth is sometimes uncomfortable. In fact, put in the comments down below, is recovery hard or is it just uncomfortable? Right? Because hard is a very connotation word, right? It has a very strong definition. And I'm not certain that recovery is necessarily hard. I don't know. You let me know what you think. And maybe in another episode, I'll let you know which one I think is the correct answer. So move forward. You don't need more effort. You don't need more willpower. No. What you need is more rhythm, right? Wash, rinse, repeat. What you need is more grounding. Get anchored. Breathe, my friends. Breathe in and breathe out and make that exhale longer than the breath in, and it just naturally relaxes you, right? So find some rhythm, find some grounding, and put in some intentions in your life. Find something positive to commit to. The best way to help yourself, my friends, is to help someone else, right? There is nothing that can instill in our recovery a better action than helping another alcoholic and addict. We know that. There's nothing. And it says it's right in our books, in our literature. Even though I can't quote it right this second perfectly, it says the answers. They're all there. And remember, I don't have the answers. I have the resources, right? And I will share those resources with you because I'm a guide, not a guru. No, I'm not your guru. I'm your guide. And if you enjoyed what you've heard here today, I encourage you to share it with somebody, please. There's someone out there that needs to know this. There's people out there that are hurting. There's people out there that are dying, right? We know that. We were. But somehow, through grace or whatever, we were saved, right? And I'm not special. I'm just stubborn, right? And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. That's probably my greatest asset. I'm just stubborn. And I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep learning, right? Do this every day. Keep living every day. And love every single minute of it, because this is all you got. This is it. There's no rehearsals. This is a one-time shot. You got to rock and roll it all the way to the end. You want to live until you die. All right? Don't give up. Don't quit. Drop in the comments what you think, what ideas you'd love me to talk about, and how I can help you. If you want to connect, let me know. There's a lot more coming. Be well, be safe, and always remember, be good to yourself. Hey, it's Paul A., and I'm out of here for today.